Mulher Magnética presents the super content. Learn how to get the right man for you. Now, what exactly is the right man? It all depends on what you expect from a relationship, because sometimes you might expect from a man just to go out once in a while, have fun, that guy you go to the bar with, maybe travel with occasionally, something more casual, more relaxed, right? Where no one expects anything from anyone. You avoid getting too deep into this kind of relationship with this type of man. There's a second situation, which is that guy you suddenly want to date. You want some kind of commitment, but you don't necessarily want to get deeply involved in a relationship either. You're getting to know him, you're having a good time. So it's someone with whom you build a certain level of intimacy, someone you go out with, someone you introduce to your friends because you know you have a certain kind of relationship with him. But then depending on this man, on this guy, wouldn't he be a good person to invest in for the long term? It depends on the moment you're at in your life. If you want someone to invest in for the long term, yes, this person could be a potential candidate. But then it will depend on something, because when we talk about the process of winning someone over, that is, that person you really want by your side, who you think about for the future, whether it's to start a family, to be together, to get married, etc., however you want, but a man you see for the long term. It doesn't matter if the guy is the most handsome or if you are the most beautiful woman. It doesn't matter if his tastes match yours. Right? It doesn't matter if he's a fun guy or if he's that guy who's super cool, everyone likes him. That's nice, but what about values? So first we need to understand what values are. Values are everything we attribute meaning to, and that makes sense for our life development, for our purposes. Values align with our purposes. So a man who values family, who has family values, that's a value. A man who wants to develop himself professionally and thinks this development is important, who wants to stand out and progress, that's a value. A man who, for example, values friendships, that's also a value. So notice that values are everything that endures, right? Values don't change, they don't shift throughout life. The matter of behaviors, daily routines, habits, that doesn't matter as much because habits change, okay? Even because addictions, habits, bad habits, those are things we build according to frequency. Behaviors should never be elevated to the status of values. He has these values, right? The ones that make sense to you. He's someone who is committed professionally, who develops himself, someone who develops his own intellect, someone who dedicates himself or intends to be a father, who has this intrinsic family value within him. In other words, these values are what will ultimately sustain your relationship. Habits change, values do not. You can't violate or change someone's values without that person being deformed in some way. So even if someone gives up or pretends to give up one of their values for your sake, or you give up a value for someone else, over time that will come at a cost, because values are formed in our psyche. They are formed in our life structure. It's part of who we are. It's very important to understand that the right man will depend first and foremost on what you're looking for and the stage of life you're in, so that you can decide whether he's someone just to spend some time with or if he's really someone you want to invest in. And if you do want to invest in this man, you naturally need to understand what his values are. Even beauty, all that sensuality, all of that fades over time. Time tends to take its toll, and it especially affects our physical appearance. Now values, on the other hand, tend to become even stronger. What we build within ourselves naturally tends to grow. And if you found these tips interesting and want to apply many more like them in your life right now, click the button below or ask for the link via direct message. Certainly by learning more about the teachings that Vanessa de Oliveira shares with you through her courses, you will become a truly powerful woman. So click the button below or ask for the link via direct message.